Hi, beautiful soul. So today we're going to do an ASMR reading of a chapter from the book Love Pamela, and this is the chapter in which Pamela Anderson is meeting Tommy Lee. Little did I know I was about to be swept right off my feet, the beginning of the end and all the greatness in between. True love was only a heartbeat away. As a woman of self-discovery, curious about what life could bring me, I thought I'd bring in the new year the only way I knew how, with a clean slate. A new business, something unexpected. I was ready for anything. What you put out into the universe has a way of finding its way back, and for me, it's like a boomerang. It was that New Year's Eve at a bar I co-owned with some friends called Sanctuary that I met Tommy. I sent a shot of Goldschlager, I'm sure I just mispronounced it, can you tell I don't drink, to everyone in the VIP room. I think Tommy thought I sent it only to him. He came bounding over to my table, wallet chain swinging, no shirt on, just tattoos and rings. He sat beside me and looked the side of my face. In turn, I licked the face of my best friend Melanie, and she licked someone else's face sitting next to her, and so on. Mel is still my best friend, surprisingly. She'd taken a leave of absence from work in Canada to come down and assist me on the movie Barbed Wire. She had no idea what she was in for. Tommy and I had been staring deeply into each other's eyes for a few minutes too long when Mel pinched me and said no. She pulled me out of the seat and said, "Let's go." Tommy followed us to the car. He wanted my number. Mel said again, "No." As we were peeling out, I leaned my body out the window and called out to him, "I'm staying at the chateau." We watched each other with undeniable interest till we were out of each other's sight. I've never felt such a force of nature or pull of gravity. Melanie would have none of it. She said, "I can tell he's not good for you. I'm worried." She is a sweetheart. We are very different, like all good friends should be. Yin and yang. The next morning, the phone in my hotel room kept ringing over and over. Finally, I picked it up, and it was Tommy. I said hi. I looked over at Mel mischievously, and she was giving me that "you better not" stare. Out of nowhere, I channeled a voice, not my own, deep and sexy, and purred, "I want 24 hours with you, then I never want to see you again," and hung up. I looked at Mel and smiled and said, "There, I'm sure he won't call back." Mel just put her hands up to her face in shock, laughing. When the phone rang again, I pressed the speaker button and Tommy was singing, "My baloney has a first name. It's Large." I laughed and hung up. He called back again and Mel picked up saying, "Pamela isn't here. She's in the spa getting her nails done." Tommy called the spa. There was no spa at the hotel. Mel and I left the hotel that afternoon while Tommy went shopping at the Pleasure Chest, an awesome shop on Santa Monica Boulevard, hoping for those 24 hours with me. And it's a type of candy shop. I listened to my friend reluctantly let it go, leaving it to fate. I had a funny feeling, though, that he'd find me somehow, somewhere, some way. When I left the hotel, there was no easy way for him to track me down. A few months later, he finally did. He was determined. It was impressive. My Malibu condo in Point Dume was under concession, so I was staying in a temporary apartment in Marina del Rey. I had a voicemail service at the time that would screen my calls. If someone called 2 times quickly in a row and knew it was my agent, I would pick up. I had a photo shoot in Mexico the next day. I was about to walk out the door to go to the airport when the phone rang once and then ring again. I was sure it was my agent, but it was Tommy. "Hi, beautiful." He sounded a little sad. "I am sorry, but I have to leave. I'm on my way to Cancun. In Mexico, I said, as if he didn't know where Cancun was, but I had just learned. Without me? He said mischievously. No, no, please don't go to Mexico. You wouldn't. I'm coming. I'll find you. Where are you staying? Please, Tommy, no. I'm going for work. I hung up and ran out the door to my driver, thinking he wouldn't dare. I still don't know how he got my number, but I checked my voicemail from Mexico and it was full of messages from Tommy. I'm on my way, and I'm on the plane eating peanuts and drinking whiskey. I let my girlfriend and makeup artist Alexis listen. She was quite intrigued. Alexis was a lot of fun and loved men, to say the least, but I looked at her and said no. Tommy had left his hotel phone number and room number on my voicemail, but he didn't know where I was staying. All the same, I told my hotel security, if you see anyone with tattoos, please don't let him in. I never thought he'd find me, but Cancun is small. At dinner, on the final day of shooting, a little bored, I said to Alexis, it's our last night here. Let's call him. Let's have fun night. We leave tomorrow. What could possibly go wrong? I ended up extending my trip. At the time, I was in love with Kelly Slater. We were dating, but we were still on and off with his ex-girlfriend, and I was starting to get that feeling of wanting to get married and have babies. Kelly was a world champion surfer by then, the best in the world. He traveled a lot, but we were growing closer. He was a true free spirit, bohemian, gentle, wise, with such beautiful eyes like a cat's. I didn't mean to hurt him, and he was my first phone call after the wedding. Tommy and I were officially married by the time we left Cancun. The club we ended up in the first night together was called La Boom. Tommy must have slipped something special in my champagne. The room got warmer and more fuzzy. My skin felt like butter and even softer than usual. He said, let's get married, and I dreamily said, okay. He took the skull ring off his friend Bobby's hand and put it on my ring finger. The next morning, Tommy called everywhere to find an available minister, like now. The minister met us on the beach, and a few friends we'd met the previous night were at our wedding party. I was in a bikini, Tommy in board shorts. We sat on lawn chairs sipping chi-chis with the pastor. After the ceremony, we all jumped in the ocean together, wanting the ocean's blessing. Thanks so much for listening to this little bit of love story. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.